Early Friday morning marked the beginning of one of the worst natural disasters to strike central Texas in recent memory. Torrential rains that began overnight gave no respite, unleashing deadly floods that left entire communities submerged in chaos. The Hill Country region, particularly Kerr and Tom Green counties, became the epicenter of this climate emergency. The rising waters of the Guadalupe River exceeded all expectations, forcing authorities to declare a state of disaster. As floodwaters swept through everything in their path. In Kerr County, emergency teams were forced to act swiftly as the Guadalupe River surged more than 22 feet in just 3 hours, reaching one of its highest levels on record. In Comfort, the river rose more than 26 feet in less than an hour. Residents had barely any time to evacuate. Many fled in the dark, abandoning their vehicles and belongings as rescue crews worked tirelessly to reach those who were trapped. The city of Kerrville, located about 55 miles northwest of San Antonio, was among the hardest hit. Its mayor, Joe Herring Jr., issued a disaster declaration Friday morning and canceled all 4th of July festivities. The event, known as the largest free music festival in the state, was suspended to prioritize emergency response. The Arcadia Theater was opened as a shelter for displaced residents. Images of the overflowing Guadalupe River quickly spread on social media. Videos showed the river churning violently under bridges as traffic inched along cautiously. Within hours, streets such as Arcadia Loop, Guadalupe Street, Thompson Drive, and Riverside Drive were completely underwater. Police and fire crews evacuated residents, urging everyone to move to higher ground. In San Angelo, the situation was just as dire. Rainfall reached historic levels, with reports of over 14 inches in some areas. The National Weather Service, NWS, issued a flash flood emergency, warning that conditions were particularly dangerous. The intersection of Bell Street and Loop 306 was one of the most heavily affected areas, with water nearly reaching the bottom of the overpass. Authorities in San Angelo instructed residents to stay home and avoid all travel. The warnings were clear: do not attempt to cross flooded roads. In nearby Brady, the San Saba River was also rising rapidly, with forecasts predicting a rise of over 20 feet by the following day. Rescue operations multiplied. Specialized vehicles, rescue boats, drones, and swiftwater rescue personnel were deployed. The Tom Green County Sheriff confirmed multiple rescues, structural fires, and an overwhelming number of 911 calls. In the city of Ingram, an entire trailer park was swept away, with families still inside, raising concerns about the actual number of victims. The exact death toll has not been officially confirmed, but Kerr County Judge Rob Kelly stated that at least 6 people had died. It was feared that the number would increase as rescue efforts continued. Kelly also confirmed that the county lacked an effective early warning system. "We have floods all the time, but we never imagined something like this could happen," he said. The 1987 flood tragedy came back to public memory. That year, the Guadalupe River rose 29 feet within hours, sweeping away a school bus and a van full of teenagers from a Christian summer camp. 10 youths lost their lives. Now, the story seemed to be repeating itself, but on an even greater scale. Drought conditions had worsened the situation. Texas has endured extreme drought in recent months, leaving soils dry and unable to absorb water effectively. This increased surface runoff and accelerated the flooding process. In some areas, rainfall reached up to 5 inches per hour. The NWS extended the flood emergency to Coe, Tom Green, and Kendall counties, with alerts remaining active into the afternoon. Meanwhile, more than 2,600 Austin Energy customers were left without power. Crews were unable to reach the most affected areas due to downed power lines and fallen trees. Living conditions became extremely hazardous. Through multiple Nixle alerts, the San Angelo Police Department and Tom Green County Sheriff's Office urged all residents to stay indoors. Makeshift shelters began filling up, and the local Walmart was converted into a reunification point for displaced families. Along the Guadalupe River, from Hunt to Center Point, dozens of rescues were reported. River levels kept rising, with forecasts projecting 31.8 feet in Kerrville by 8 a.m. and 30.6 feet in Comfort by 2 p.m. Authorities warned that more rain could further worsen the emergency. Local meteorologists, like James Wingroth, described the event as extremely significant. "This is a once-in-a-100-year event," he said. That assessment was backed by data. In less than a day, more rain fell than the entire average for the month of July in some areas. As rescue teams continued working nonstop, the Texas Division of Emergency Management raised its operations center's readiness level and deployed additional state resources to assist affected communities. Emergency Chief Nim Kidd stated the priority was protecting lives and property. By the end of Friday, conditions remained critical. Rain persisted in several areas, and rivers had not yet peaked. There were fears that downstream regions could soon be overwhelmed. Authorities continued to urge residents to remain extremely cautious. This disaster has served as a grim reminder of how vulnerable communities are to extreme weather events. The speed with which the emergency unfolded, combined with the lack of an effective early warning system, highlighted the urgent need to improve preparedness and response strategies for such crises. The Guadalupe River disaster will undoubtedly be remembered as a defining moment for Texans. What began as a night of rain turned into a day of loss, mass evacuations, immeasurable material damage, and the painful confirmation of lives lost.